Hi there, welcome back to His Rising Souls. Today I wanted to share with you, I guess, recognizing more, kind of calling us all out on not playing the victim and instead recognizing that you have a choice to not be involved or to be a player in someone's game that they have created around you and are somewhat trying to force you to be a player in. Often, I believe when there's gossip or haters or people that are ultimately broken that want to pull you down, it's more often than not that you almost feel like you're obligated to participate. And if you think about it, if there's a sport, there can't be a sport unless there's two players. There can't be an argument unless there's two people. There can't be a game of any kind that you have to participate in unless you've signed the waiver, you filled out your athletic papers, and you drove to the court to play ball. And if people spiritually or emotionally in your life have created a game that you unfortunately have actually played the game for a very long time, and now maybe with this video or something in your life, or hopefully God of all things, has helped you see the light and the truth that you don't have to do that. You legitimately can pull away. You can not be a player. You can stop being a candidate that they are trying to put out on a pedestal to torment. And if you don't get hurt by it, and if you choose joy, and if you choose to know there are better things in life to focus on, and that you're just not going to participate any longer in the circumstances that have surrounded you, if it's since birth, if it's since your job that you're at, if it's since you've been divorced, if it's since you've had a child come home with an issue that have provoked an indifference with a teacher, or whatever the circumstance is, I think it's really kind of ourselves to love ourselves and to give all things to God, and to know that you can pull out at any time to not be a player in the game. And by doing so, I think holding thy tongue is very important. I think silence is very, very powerful. And if there's nothing, that old saying when you're little, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. I mean, there's really some bold truth to that. And I think God very much favors the maturity and the independence and the will to just be quiet and allow Him to do the work. And for you not to verbally or physically feel that in your earthly vessel, you're in control and going to handle it all. But if it doesn't feel right, and you don't feel that you're being treated properly, and it hurts, and it's not something that you feel is fair, which typically throws you into a deeper pit of worry or gets you even more caught up in it because you want to defend yourself, because it feels so crazy that it's even happening that it projects you even that much forward into it without recognizing when it's awful or when it feels torturesome and when it's draining and when it hurts. Stop, recognize it. This doesn't feel good. This feels heavy. This is draining me. This is consuming most of my thoughts. This is keeping me up at night. This is making me eat more. This is making me eat less. This is making me not want to be social. This is making me see the world differently. That's toxic. That's an evil spirit. That was not created by God. So even if it's your family, if it's your job that you have to relocate from, whatever it is, protect your spirit, give it to God, pray about it. He will answer. In whatever way it is, He will answer and show up. You just have to have full faith. You have to really, truly give it to Him. And you have to have boundaries. And I do believe holding thy tongue is a big, big deal. And you just don't have to play with people that aren't treating you kind. If you're a pure-hearted soul and you know you only have good intentions and you're not the one that's dancing with the devil and you're not the sinner and you're not the evil spirit and you're not full of envy or jealousy or rage or bitterness, then recognize that you're supposed to be quiet, step away, and give it to God. And in Psalms 1, I was reading in King James, it says, "Blessed is thy man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." So if you're not dancing with the devil and you're not hanging out with people who do create and bring you drama and pain, which can be tricky because most often it is sneaky and those people don't come in just hurting you or you wouldn't feel attached. They'll be kind, or it maybe could be sexually connected because often people don't wait until they're married, and that therefore is a soul tie, and that can be confusing, which is often why people stay together longer than they should, because there's that soul tie there that's enticing and romancing and right feels good at the time. So we're all like, we can make excuses for why, even though that might not be right and that doesn't look right and I don't agree with that, but we get along and we've already, committed sin. So to make it right and not look like it is a horrible decision I made, I'll just stick with it and maybe we'll end up together forever. Don't do that to yourself either. But I think it says it best in Psalms 1. Like, you're not supposed to sit around and be scornful and mad that you were hurt. I think you're supposed to let it go. You're supposed to give it to God. You're supposed to stop being the player in the game that was created around you. You have a choice to not be a player. You have a choice to walk away. And I think silence is really, really, really bliss. It's powerful. It conserves your energy. It speaks very, very loudly. Very loudly. And no matter how hard it comes at you and no matter how much it wants a part of you, stay strong and focus on the good. Focus on what else is available. So often we think, oh, no one's going to love us like that, or, oh, it's our family, or, oh, no, it's been my best friend since I was in preschool. And none of that, it matters because we're earthly vessels and it hurts, but ultimately we literally mourn the loss of loved ones here on earth that pass away, and we carry on. We are created to push forward and to move forward. And if you're a believer, ultimately, you will, if you're a real believer and you're living a life that God wants you to live, you'll go to heaven for eternity. And there's nothing really to be sad about. When I know a true believer has passed away and has gone to heaven, I'm like kind of happy for him. I'm very happy for them, but it's hard, and I understand for other people that's sometimes hard to be able to wrap their head around, and I am empathetic to that. Of course, I physically and earthly have missed multiple people in my life that have gone to heaven sooner than I would have liked them to, but they're there and I will see them again soon, and I want to live my everyday making sure that I do get to heaven with them. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent. That's what happens with my brain. But ultimately, you don't have to be a player in the game. Put your bat down. Put your mitten down, put your racket down, and be quiet. Hold thy tongue. And don't sit around and be mad. Don't sit around and soak up the pain. If it's not you that they're going to abuse, if it's not you that they're torturing, if it's not you that will partake in the argument or remain in the game playing, I can guarantee you they will find someone else, unfortunately, to abuse and to take advantage of and to drag them along with their games that unfortunately there's a payoff, and it's not of God. It's usually when someone's doing something they think to fulfill something that is insecure in them by taking advantage of others. So love yourself. Love yourself and see yourself as the image that God created you in, which is beautiful, smart, kind. You don't have to be good at everything. God only gives us grace in certain ways that he gives us for our calling and to do good things for him here on earth to spread the gospel. You don't have to be perfect. You only have to be perfect in God's eyes. And you already are. So know that. Love yourself. Be good to yourself, which is ultimately loving God. And carry on. And when you make a mistake, repent and don't repeat it. but stop playing and dancing and hanging around others that want to drag you down. There's a scientific, or I guess it would be like in psychology, there's a term, and you can look it up, and it's the crawdad effect. And the crawdad effect is scientifically proven, and which is why it's called the crawdad effect, that if you get a 5-gallon bucket and you put 20, 30 crawdads in it, when all the crawdads crawl up the side of the bucket, they all pile up and one's getting ready to reach over to get out, the rest of the crawdads grab that one crawdad and pull it back down with them. Because gosh forbid anyone get out and prevail and make them not look as good. Make them have to recognize they're not living their best life. So that can become very challenging. So the crawdad effect is real, not only with crawdads, with people. Who you hang around, if they're not truly thriving and letting God lead their lives, they will want you to keep dumbing yourself down, to keep being the drinker with them, to keep having sex out of marriage, to keep entertaining the life that you once did or that they do to make them feel better about their own life. And that's not what you're here for. You're not here to be approved or to make other people feel better about the life that they're living, that you can be set free and live a better life and you know it. So by example, hopefully that's seen. And if not, they have more unpacking to do and hopefully they see it one day. And if not, that's not for you to do. That's for you to pray and give it to God. And God will prevail. God wins. God is the King of all kings. And know that you are created by him specifically and divinely. You don't have to be good at everything. And you most definitely are supposed to hang out with people who lift you up and make you feel very, very easy to love. And if that is not the case, you might be hanging out with the wrong broken souls. So know that you're loved. Remember Psalms 1, blessed is the man that walketh in the counsel of God. Love God, know God, be with God, and stay blessed. Know your worth. So silence is strong. Don't hang out with crawdads that want to keep you down in the bucket with them. And know that if there's a game that's been created around you that you all of a sudden recognize you're a player in, you're allowed to stop playing. Get off the bench even and move forward into a whole other world, that there are no games, that there are people that are just kind and good to you. And do not stop until the quality of people are evenly yoked or above you and know more than you and are wiser. Everyone should want to grow. You don't have to know it all. God bless you. And know you're loved. Please.